Hello everyone, welcome again. In this software testing tutorial, we are going to learn what is unit testing or also known as component testing. Now before we get into the unit testing or component testing in the software world, let's first understand it practically what exactly unit is, right? So that is very important. If you understand the topics practically and can correlate with the real life examples out there, you will understand software testing or any development or automation just like, it will be a breeze. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Try to simplify things as much as possible and correlate those with the real examples. All right. So let's take an example of a car manufacturing. Okay. So if a company is manufacturing a car, what exactly could be a unit in the car? So give it a thought. Say for example, car will have, a engine, four wheels. So there will be wheels, the body. But if you segregate all these parts, say for example, engine, I'll say, right? So there will be engine. So engine is not a standalone activity. It's not a standalone part. It's basically combination of lots and lots of parts, right? So there will be very small items that combine together and make the overall engine that is fitted into the car, right? So if we drill down the engine and drill down to the smallest unit of that engine, this is what is called unit that can be tested independently. All right. Now that's the analogy of car and engine. If say for example, I'll take an example of the tire. Okay. So tire, do you think tire will be a standalone activity or a standalone unit that can be tested, or that's the smallest unit in the car? I think the tire or the wheel basically will have the tire. So tire can be tested separately. It will have the rim, the metal, rim. That is another piece, another unit, right? And then within the tire there are ball bearings, which are another, units. And within the ball bearings there are smaller, rings there within the ball bearing, right? So all these, the smallest item that can be tested independently within the car is a unit. If we talk about the car manufacturing, right? So these small bearing units, the round units are the smallest testable part, because those are tested to see whether they are all good, the quality is good, there are no issues with those. So these are, you can say, units in the car wheel. When you assemble the car wheel, this is the unit of the ball bearing. When this is combined with the outer layer, that's another unit, and these two are combined, then that becomes the bearing. Okay, so this is how you can correlate unit to the actual software world. Okay, so we have understood what a unit can be in terms of car. If you break down the engine, or if you break down the wheel, so put it in any sense, in any of the real examples out there. Just try to think about what is the smallest unit that can be tested for any product that you pick, right? And you will be able to understand the smallest unit that can be tested, and that is what a unit is, or a component is, that can be tested independently. If a component cannot be tested independently, then that is not a unit, right? So if there is any sort of integration with other component, then that becomes integration testing. Now when I try to correlate this with the software, then what could be the unit, the smallest unit in any software? So in the software world, if you're writing any program, you can say a method, the smallest method that can be tested independently without interaction with any other, component or unit, is a unit in the software. Say for example, there is a method which accepts two values, right? So which accepts two integers, a and b, and then it displays the result c, or which is the sum of two, right? Now this is what a unit will be in the software. So this is the simplest unit that you can think of. There are two numbers, so there is a method that will accept two numbers. So if you write any Java program which accepts two numbers and displays the output or sum of those two numbers, this method can be tested independently, right? So you can have the unit testing framework, and you can write the test cases to test this particular unit or the method which will accept two integers and then display the sum of those two integers, right? So this is what unit will be in your software. Now if you think about the big applications, we'll take again the e-commerce example. And in the e-commerce website, if you try to break down the overall e-commerce website into different modules, right, or different um, different application or different features that are available in the in e-commerce website, then you will have the, say for example, the first thing is the login page, right? So high level you will have the login functionality. So login page, once the user logs in, then he'll be on the dashboard. All right, so dashboard, once the user is on dashboard, he's logged in, he'll have all the products that are listed there, that he can actually start adding into the cart. He can add without even logging in, but with logged in, he'll have his own dashboard. He can see previous orders. He can add, try to buy new orders. So he can add items, right? So there will be possibility to like list all the items, and he can add those items in cart, and cart will be visible, right? So he can remove items. Then he can check out, right? So there will be a checkout functionality. So checkout button will be there. Once user clicks on the checkout button, it will redirect him to the payments page, right? So these are some of the high level features. So once he is on the payment page, he will be redirected to the payment page. He'll put the details, payment detail, and then finally make the payment, and his purchase will be successful. And then on the dashboard, he'll have his order listed in the order history. So this is how the components, if you talk about the high level components or units, will you can think of, right? But actually, if you try to break down even the login page or the checkout or the payments, you can still drill down a lot in terms of units or components in these, functionalities. Say for example, login page, right? So login page will have username and password, and then login button, right? And then there could be possibility of logging in with Gmail, logging in with other social media accounts, right? So there will be underlying code written for each of these small units that you see. So for example, there is some logic that needs to be built for the username, okay? And if the username logic or the code written for that username field can be tested standalone and is the smallest unit of code or component, then this is what unit will be, right? If username field can be tested independently, from the code through the testing framework, for example JUnit, then that's what unit is in this particular e-commerce case. All right, so this is how you need to basically drill down into the examples, into the actual software, and go through the smallest, understand the smallest unit that will be possible, that can be tested independently, and that's what is unit or component testing, right? So the smallest testable part of the software is the unit, and testing that unit, independent unit, is known as unit testing in the software. Now unit testing or component testing is most of the time done by developers. All right, so development team does it, but there might be possibility, if you are a white box tester or know how to write the unit test cases, you might be required to help the development team to test the unit or components, right? So you might be also doing the unit testing in the software development lifecycle. All right, so this is what unit testing is and what your role might be in terms of testing the units, okay, testing the components within the SDLC. uh, this will be very rare that you will be required to do unit testing, but it's a possibility if you are into the white box testing space. All right, so that's all for this unit testing tutorial. What exactly is unit testing and how you can understand units or components, and how you can explain it basically to the interviewer, so that you provide the better answer as compared to other people that are attending the same interview, right? So that's all for this tutorial. Hope it was helpful. Please do share and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.